What's up, everybody? This is Tech G back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about ethical and responsible AI. So let's get into it. Artificial intelligence can be cool. It can recommend your next favorite TV shows and help doctors diagnose diseases faster. But what comes with great power? Well, you all know the rest. And as AI continues to become more powerful, more personal, and more deeply woven into our daily lives, we got to ask, are we using it responsibly? And that's where ethical and responsible AI comes in. So in this video, we're going to talk about what it means to practice ethical AI and not just talk about it. We're going to break down the key principles, explore real life examples, and show you what governance really means without the corporate buzzword soup. So by the end, you're going to have a clear understanding of how to make AI that's not only smart, but also safe, fair, and trustworthy. All right, so first off, why does ethical AI even matter? So you might be thinking, if the AI works, isn't that good enough? Well, not quite. AI isn't just a tool anymore. It's making decisions that can impact lives, careers, justice systems, and entire economies. And here's what's at stake. You have AI deciding who can get a job interview, AI determining credit worthiness, AI powering facial recognition for law enforcement, and AI helping courts assess risk for bail or parole. Now imagine if the data feeding those systems is biased, flawed, or incomplete. The consequences aren't just technical, they're human. And that's why ethical AI isn't a quote unquote nice to have, it's a must have. All right, so let's go over the core principles of ethical AI. So there's no universal rule book as of yet, but most ethical AI frameworks revolve around a few key principles. So let me go ahead and break them down. The first one is fairness. And basically, this says AI should not discriminate, period, point blank. But here's the kicker. AI learns from data, and that data reflects the real world. And let's be honest, the real world does have biases, such as historical hiring data that might favor men over women, or police data that might overrepresent certain communities, or facial recognition systems that may work poorly on darker skin tones. Now, practicing fairness, this means auditing training data for bias, testing AI outputs across different demographics, and using inclusive data sets that reflect diverse populations. And then we have transparency. So AI systems, they should not be black boxes. If a system denies someone a loan, they should be able to know why. But many modern AI models, especially deep learning systems, are incredibly complex and hard to interpret. And transparency in practice, it basically provides clear explanations for decisions, which is a field known as explainable AI or XAI. It also documents the model's purpose, limitations, and data sources. And it's also about being upfront with users when AI is being used. Another principle is accountability. So who's responsible when AI makes a mistake? Is it the developer, the company, or the person who used it? Now, we can't shrug and say that the algorithm did it. Someone must be accountable for the outcomes of AI systems. So practicing accountability, basically this defines clear roles for decision-making and oversight. It establishes appeal mechanisms for users that are harmed by AI decisions, and it maintains audit trails to track AI activity. And then that leads us to privacy. So AI can collect, process, and analyze personal data at scale, but just because it can doesn't mean it should. So respecting privacy means minimizing data collection, encrypting sensitive information, and giving users control over their data, such as opt-ins or deletions. And laws like GDPR in Europe and CCPA in California, they are leading the charge in AI-related data protection. And then our final core principle is safety and security. So an AI that works perfectly in the lab but causes chaos in the real world, well, that's a problem. Safety is about making sure AI does what it's supposed to do without unintended side effects. And security means protecting AI from being hacked, manipulated, or misused. And that includes deep fakes that are used for disinformation. That also includes AI models that are hijacked to produce hate speech. And that also includes facial recognition that is used without consent. Now, all of this is possible and all of it is preventable with strong safeguards. All right, so let's check out some case studies that show why responsible AI is non-negotiable. So let's go ahead and get out of theory and get into reality. And these are examples of AI that were left unchecked that cause real harm. So we have Amazon's biased hiring tool. So in 2018, Amazon had to scrap an AI-powered recruiting tool because it was biased against women. The model had been trained on resumes submitted over a 10-year period, which most of them came from men. And as a result, it penalized resumes that included words like women or female. And so, what was the lesson? Well, the lesson was garbage in, garbage out. So, biased training data, it will create biased outcomes. Another example is the Compass algorithm in the justice system. So, in the US, a system called Compass was used to predict whether criminal defendants would reoffend. It turned out to be twice as likely to falsely flag Black defendants as high risk compared to white defendants. So, what was the lesson learned from this? Well, high stakes AI needs rigorous fairness testing, especially in sensitive areas like justice and policing. And then our third example is the Google Photos tagging disaster. So, Google Photos once labeled Black individuals as gorillas due to faulty image recognition, which was a catastrophic and offensive error. So, what was Google's solution? Well, they removed the word gorilla from the vocabulary entirely. So, what was the lesson learned? Well, AI systems, they must be tested on diverse data sets, and companies must be ready to act when things go wrong. All right, so now that we talked about what can go wrong, let's explore how to prevent it. And that's where AI governance comes in. So, governance, this might sound like a boring boardroom word, but it's really just about having rules, roles, and responsibilities for building and using AI. So, let's go ahead and break it down. So, exactly what is governance? Well, AI governance, this is a set of policies, procedures, and structures that guide the development, deployment, and monitoring of AI systems. So, think of it as the guardrails that keep AI ethical, transparent, and aligned with human values. And here are the key components of a governance framework. The first component is ethical guidelines. So you want to start with principles like the ones we've covered earlier, such as fairness, transparency, privacy, etc., because they act as your North Star. And organizations like OECD, UNESCO, and the EU have published widely respected ethical AI principles. There's also risk assessments. So just like you assess risk in finance or security, you need to assess risk in AI. And this includes bias risk, legal risk, reputational risk, operational risk. And you want to use a structured process to flag risky models before they go live. There's also model documentation. So every AI model should come with a user manual that includes what it does, what data it was trained on, its known limitations, who tested it, and contact information for concerns, because this improves transparency and accountability. Then there's also the human in the loop element. So for high stakes applications, humans should be involved in critical decisions. Do not let AI run wild. So for example, if AI flags a medical scan as potentially cancerous, then a human doctor needs to make the final diagnosis. And this balance between automation and human judgment is critical. Then there's auditability. So you need to be able to trace how an AI system made a decision. And that's essential for accountability, appeals, and regulatory compliance. So internal and external audits, they will help ensure things are running as intended. And then there's diversity in teams. So who builds the AI matters just as much as how it's built. Diverse development teams are more likely to catch blind spots, ethical issues, and cultural biases. So if your AI team is all one demographic, then that's a potential red flag. All right, so let's talk about governance and practice and who's doing it right. So we're going to talk about Microsoft's AI principle. So Microsoft has laid out a strong governance model built on responsible AI standards, ethics review boards, and an internal office of responsible AI. And their AI is vetted at every stage from design to deployment. Then there's Google's AI principles. So after employee backlash over unethical AI projects, Google now follows guidelines that includes avoiding creating harmful or weaponized AI, promoting privacy, security, and user consent, and incorporating societal benefit into development goals. And then there's OpenAI's charter. So OpenAI, which is the creator of ChatGPT, they publicly commit to ensuring that AGI, or artificial general intelligence, benefits all of humanity. They emphasize long-term safety research, broad dissemination of benefits, and cooperation with other institutions. Now, whether or not any of these companies are going to stick to these principles as commercial pressures rise, well, all of that remains to be seen. All right, so let's talk about regulations. So ethics and governance are great, but sometimes you need laws to back them up. And governments worldwide are starting to step in. So out in the European Union, they have what is called the AI Act. And this proposes a risk-based framework for regulating AI. It completely bans some type of AI like social scoring systems, and it requires strict oversight for high risk applications like healthcare or education. In the US, there is no comprehensive AI law as of yet, but it is increasing momentum. And President Biden, he issued an AI executive order back in 2023 that focused on safety, fairness, and innovation. And the Algorithmic Accountability Act has been proposed to require impact assessments for automated systems. Now, other countries like Canada, China, and Singapore, they're also rolling out their own AI governance plans as well. All right, so how can you practice responsible AI? Well, this isn't just for lawmakers and big tech companies. You can make a difference, whether you're an AI developer, a product manager, a student, or you're just curious about the future. So when it comes to developers and engineers, you can always check your data for bias. You can document your models clearly. You can test across diverse user groups, and you can raise ethical concerns within your team. If you're a product manager or a leader, you can set ethical goals early in a project. You can involve legal, compliance, and diverse voices from the start. You can build in time and budget for testing and audits, and you can push back if an AI product feels off. When it comes to students and learners, you can study real-world AI failures and their successes. You can stay updated on ethics trends and regulations. You can question how AI affects different groups, and you can speak up in classrooms and forums. So basically, we're standing at a crossroads. AI is no longer something futuristic or far away. It's here and it's shaping our world in real time. Now, the question isn't just, can we build it? It should also be, should we build it? And how can we build it responsibly? So practicing ethical and responsible AI isn't about slowing progress. It's about guiding it. It's about making sure that as our machines get smarter, we stay wise. So whether you're coding the next application or you're just learning what AI is all about, remember this: ethical AI isn't a technical problem. It's a human commitment. So let's go ahead and build the future that we actually want to live in. And with all of that being said, let's do some check on learning. So the first question is, which of the following is a core principle of responsible AI? Is it maximizing profit at any cost? Is it promoting data hoarding for competitive advantage? Is it avoiding public scrutiny of AI models? Or is it ensuring transparency and explainability in AI decisions? And the answer is, it is ensuring transparency and explainability in AI decisions. So responsible AI, this emphasizes transparency and explainability so that users and stakeholders understand how decisions are made, because this builds trust and accountability in AI systems. Next question: what is the main purpose of an AI governance framework? Is it to automate all ethical decisions? Is it to create marketing strategies for AI systems? Is it to ensure AI systems are aligned with legal, ethical, and organizational values? Or is it to prevent AI from being used in business environments? And the correct answer is, it is to ensure AI systems are aligned with legal, ethical, and organizational values. So governance frameworks, they guide how AI is developed, deployed, and monitored to ensure it meets legal standards, ethical norms, and the mission of the organization. And our final question is, which of the following best describes the human in the loop concept in responsible AI? Is it human oversight is integrated into the AI decision-making process? Is it AI should replace all human decision-making? Is it humans should never question AI outputs? Or is it AI should only be used for low-risk decisions? And the answer is, human oversight is integrated into the AI decision-making process. So human in the loop, this ensures humans remain involved in critical decisions, especially in high-risk applications, promoting accountability and ethical integrity.